Okay, so this is my trip to Spring City on the new portion of the Schuylkill River Trail. I start at the Keim Street Bridge, which is an abandoned bridge. Not going to be there much longer. They're getting ready to tear it down and rebuild it into a modern, ugly bridge. So we go over the bridge, up the hill, crossing the 422 till we get to the 724. We make a left into Kenilworth, a nice little hamlet, and toward Spring City. So this is the point where the trail's supposed to cross 422. It's not open yet. So we need to continue a little more down 724. Not really very far at all until we get to the trailhead as it exists now. So when you see this sign here, you make a left and you will encounter, you can see the sign for the trail there ahead. So this is where the trail begins now. You look to the left, you see they're continuing it to cross 422, but it's not ready yet. Go to your right, southeast to Spring City. This is our approach to Towpath Park. We're crossing a creek here, which has some interesting historical stuff, which I won't get into now. So this is the crossing into Towpath Park. This is an old road. I looked on the old map. There was a road there and a little wooden bridge over the canal originally. So you can see the canal on your left right now, but the trail is going to go over the canal bed. They filled in a lot of it. So now the canal's on your right, and the towpath would be over there on the right. So we're not on the towpath anymore. But it's nice, there's a little water in the old canal bed still. It was filled in the 1920s. So you look on the left, you see we're really close to the Schuylkill right now. And very high above it, you can see the canal, this was the level of it, was very high. So right here is the site of a weir. They call it a weir. It's a place where the canal is built so that when the water level gets too high, it can overflow without damaging the canal bank. So down in the woods, I was there several years ago, is this ruins of this weir, which are kind of amazing. So the trail winds through the woods for a little while. Most of the trail is very sunny, so if it's a real hot day, not the time to do it. I did it once on a real hot sunny day to Phoenixville in the old days, and it wasn't that pleasant. But it's very pretty, farmland. Our first crossing is here at Saratoga Road. I recommend you make the left and ride down Saratoga Road to the old abandoned, destroyed bridge over the Schuylkill. Oh yeah, there they are. Beautiful. So, yeah, it's a really pretty road. You go about a half a mile to this gate coming up where they've closed the road to traffic. But you can squeeze by on the right. Watch out, there's some nice poison ivy there. And this road inside here is really beautiful. This is a nature preserve now. On the left is a containment basin for the river cleanup back in the 1950s. If you've seen any of those, you know they're very interesting. And we go through this wonderland of this abandoned road. It's an asphalt road. It's in very good condition, except that the vegetation is encroaching from either side. Beautiful big tall trees. Until we come up to the bridge abutment. See that fence there? So you carefully go around it because it's a big drop down to the river there. And you look across the Schuylkill into Saratoga, and you can see the old remains of the bridge. I looked at the old maps. It's hard to tell when this bridge was closed. Yeah, I guess it was, I don't know, there's still the Linfield crossing further down that has just been painted. I think it's bright green. Very, very pretty. So we turn around, go back out, and as you leave this abandoned road through that gate again, you look to your right. You see that's the entrance to the Saratoga Nature Preserve. So we ride back up to the trail, short distance, not very hilly, and continue on to Spring City. The next crossing is Frickslock Road, where you should also take a very short detour to your left and check out, you see the entrance to the Frickslock Village, which is pretty cool. They have tours on Saturdays in the summer and fall, I believe. Go on the Linfield Town website and you'll find out when they are. You have to sign up. They're okay. It'd be great to combine with this bike trip. It would. And so going back up to the trail, you see they've stabilized. They put new roofs on the houses and stuff. So we continue down. Whenever you see the fences, you're usually crossing a little stream or something. And we get up. This is a train bed. There's a rail trail at this point. And whenever you get past these fences, you're usually crossing a stream. So we pass a couple of little streets on the way to Spring City, Anderson Road and Wells Road. There's not much down these streets, generally. I think Wells maybe does take you to Linfield, the Linfield Bridge. Here's Linfield Road, which takes you down to the bridge over the Schuylkill. If you look across, you see the bike trail goes straight across, and then slightly to the left is Old Schuylkill Road, and behind this house is the remains of a big aqueduct where the canal was carried across the stream. This is the river, the little stream that it had to cross, and if you look to the left, you can see there's a beautiful stone arch bridge back in there on Old Schuylkill Road. But we're going to continue on the trail. The next crossing is Old Schuylkill Road at the other entrance to it. And it's unmarked, so it doesn't say Old Schuylkill Road, but that's a view down the road. We'll take that road on the way back. It's recommended. Very good. So here's a nice railroad cut along the side of the hill. The Schuylkill's immediately on your left, I believe, right here. And this is a good place to let her rip on your electric bike. Look down to the left there, you see the Schuylkill again, and the canal must be down there, but that might be the part where the canal is down there, I believe. Or this is kind of neat the way I like this sign here. Stop, look, and listen. This used to be at every railroad crossing before they installed all the bells, whistles, gates. So this is a big railroad bridge we're crossing now. I believe the canal ran under this. So now the canal, instead of being on your left, would be on your right. There's a nice big lake. And it's kind of cool, these big. So now we've arrived in Spring City. It's a nice map telling you where stuff is. You look to your left, that's the bridge over the Schuylkill into Royersford. A lot of restaurants there and stuff if you want to have lunch. But we're going to take a right into Spring City. This is an interesting place on the left where they make these big tables out of a slice of a tree, and they attach them to legs made out of old industrial stuff. It's kind of cool. Stop in and see it. It's open on weekends. And look, this is an old mill building on your left that was originally the canal crossed the road right beyond the mill building. If you look right to the right across the street, there's a strip mall which has a diner in it. But you look to your left of the strip mall right over there and take a look at a retaining wall built for the canal back in 1820s to hold the hill from falling into the canal. So I stopped into the Springford Diner. It's pretty nice. It's a little weird. There's no natural light inside. It's like a big cave. But the breakfast was decent. So we're riding back to Pottstown now. This is some stuff I missed. This is the big generating plant that I believe was probably built for the Penfield Hospital home for the feeble-minded, whatever. It was closed in the 80s in a big scandal that people were being, abused and stuff. If you look to the left of that, you can see a fork in this little gravel road. If you go to the right, you go up the hill to the hospital. You can ride around. Something else I missed is this nice tiny little bridge. I think it's now a private road. And going back, we're going to go left down Old Schuylkill Road. Remember, this is not This is the crossing that's not marked, that's not labeled. So, the canal's to your right. Frick's Lock is over to your right. You pass a lot of old canal-era homes, some of which have been kind of updated, but you can tell the little tiny windows. Here's the beautiful Stone Arch Bridge. There's a sign somewhere here that tells you the history of the bridge. It's a very old bridge. I also miss this coming down. I think it's a railroad bridge for a siding or something. And we get back to Kenilworth. We make the right down to the old abandoned Keim Street Bridge, and we see the Schuylkill for the last time. So that's it. Nice trip.